First of all, thank you for inviting me here on campus. It's great to be with all of you, Megan, Hannah, Quentin, Emily. I flew in last night to share some secrets from Post Secret with you and the students. And the project itself started about 12 years ago. In Washington, D.C., I printed up 3,000 self-addressed postcards. I think I have an example. Yeah, here's one right here. Inviting people to write a secret on the other side, create some artwork, and mail it to me anonymously. And I really didn't know what to expect, but in about a decade, I received over 1 million postcards from all around the world in different languages with secrets that are heartbreaking, romantic, funny, philosophical, hidden acts of kindness. When I started the project, I really didn't know what to expect. But then as secrets started coming from the Washington, D.C. area with postmarks from D.C., I would scan them and post them on the web and share them online. And very quickly, the website went viral. I was getting hundreds of thousands of viewers every week and then every day. And people began to buy their own postcards and make their own postcards. They started arriving with postmarks not just from DC, but from New Zealand and Iraq and Greenland and Dublin and Ukraine. And when that happened, I realized I had touched something that had been waiting, some sort of nerve. And I've been amazed by the dozens and hundreds of secrets that you've shown me from classmates and teachers and members of the general public here just today. So I think it's a conversation that we all want to have. We just didn't have that safe place to tell our story. I think the reason it caught fire is because of the confessions that people were sharing with me. There were these true, deep confessions and secrets that people hadn't told to their parents or partner or psychiatrist. And it's really the trust and vulnerability that the senders shared with me that I think makes the project so compelling. Can I share some examples with you?
Absolutely.
So this is one that was mailed to me on a postcard, and the person drew a picture of Babar from the children's storybook. And the secret reads, "When I was a child, I was constantly terrified that my entire life was just a story being read by King Babar to his children, and that someday he would close the book and my life would end." So that's one example. Here's another example. This secret was mailed to me on part of a parking ticket. This one says, "I got a parking citation and so did the car next to me. I replaced the ticket on the car next to me with mine. My ticket got paid, and the one I took, I mailed it to Post Secret." This one has a picture of lipstick on the card, and it says, "I put lipstick on my boss's shirt so his wife would think we're having an affair even though we're not." These stories, I think, remind us of the extraordinary experiences in people's lives all around us, probably in our lives right here today, and the people you walk by on campus, stories of frailty and heroism that we never get a chance to share or experience. But it's great to be able to touch them through a postcard. This is the last one I'll share. It says, 15 years ago, I gave up a baby boy for adoption. 1 year ago, I found his address in the next town. 4 months ago, I drove past his house. Last night, I took my 2 young children trick-or-treating to his house, and he opened the door. I almost cried, but walked away instead. I don't get shocked by secrets too often anymore, but I'm surprised every day. And just like the secrets that you all collected here on campus today, I can't wait to see them. I saw huge stacks collected on campus here today. So it just shows that there are secrets everywhere, and if you can create a safe place for people to share, it can really be cathartic and meaningful and fun too. We'll see what these are. I was taught not to hate or use the word hate, and I don't, but secretly. And then it has a whole list. I hate the police. I hate my family. I hate being lied to. I hate feeling alone. I hate cancer. This one says, I regret putting my career interests before my family. Although that happened over 30 years ago, its effect is still felt today. I've spent the better part of the last 15 years mending fences and trying to be the family member, father, I should have always been. I have the fear of failing and disappointing my family. And you can see the artwork on this one. And lastly, you have a different kind of life growing up with your mom, working at a porn site. So a full spectrum of secrets. And I think that secrets are similar to songs or poems. They can be about every human emotion, and they're inexhaustible. I think the secrets that I've read over a decade, every day pretty much, have made me more compassionate and understanding and empathetic, not just with others, but with myself. But even as I say that, I can think of something I did yesterday that was not very empathetic. So nobody's perfect, but I think when you share and read these secrets, it allows you to feel a deeper connection with others and hopefully more compassion for ourselves. Well, I'm thrilled that the post-secret community as a whole has donated more than $1 million for suicide prevention. And for me, I don't think there's a direct connection to secrets and suicide, but I do think that suicide is one of America's secrets. It's a secret that we keep from ourselves, and we don't talk about it, which makes it even worse. Before I started Post-Secret, I was a volunteer on a suicide prevention hotline. I was working night shifts for about 2 years, really kind of listening to people's secrets at 2 a.m. and 3 a.m. And one of the things I learned through that process is when people are desperate to share their story, you don't have to have any specialized knowledge or expertise. You don't have to know how to solve problems. You just have to listen. And for me, that's a lesson I've taken away from this project. If you have a friend or a family member or a classmate who you're concerned about, just let them know that you're always there if they need to talk. And you've struggled too. And there's resources here in the city, here on campus, that are available for students, for faculty, for anybody who, like all of us, has that one moment when they need a helping hand. I'll talk about 2 things I see on college campuses. The first is everywhere I go at the end of my talk, students are willing to stand up in front of their classmates, in front of strangers, and tell secrets they've never told out loud before. And to me, that's so inspiring to see that kind of confidence and courage. And for me, it's a demonstration of change happening in the real world right now. And that's the second thing I'll talk about. Through student groups like Active Minds or interested, caring student leaders like you two, like everybody here today, I think real change is taking place across the country. I've seen it. I've seen people understand the issue of sexual consent differently. I've seen people understand how college is for not just those who are mentally well, but those who sometimes struggle with mental illness. The doors are getting wider and they're further open, and it allows us to have more challenges on campus, but it also allows for more diversity, more creativity, more of us to be able to share our spirits and be educated. And so for me, I'm very excited and hopeful about not always necessarily what's happening in the world, but what I see happening on college campuses and the young people like you guys who I meet all the time. In some ways, I'm surprised that I'm the post-secret guy, because I was just a small business owner, like for 20 years, living in a boring suburb with a wife, a daughter, a dog. I had no artistic training or background. But in some ways, I feel like I am the right person for this project, because growing up, I had a traumatic childhood. I had some real struggles. I had secrets I felt like I was carrying alone and feeling that burden. And so for me now as an adult, I feel so privileged that so many strangers trust me with their secrets. And as you suggest, they're not all happy. Some are filled with anguish and pain, as I shared here, and as you heard from here on campus. For me, though, I feel like because I've had my own struggles, I feel when I read a painful secret a sense of connection and solidarity with that person. I feel glad that they have a place where they can let it out and let it go. And also I think that Post-Secret serves a valuable purpose for those who have had privileged lives. Not everybody is like me. Not everybody is like us who's had childhood struggles. Some people have had very fortunate lives. And for them, when they read a painful secret, I want them to feel afflicted. I want it to affect them. I want it to prick their conscience. But I also want Post-Secret to comfort those who need it.
Do you guys have any other questions you'd like asked?
Well, let me take this opportunity again just to thank everybody here in this room. We have Megan, Hannah, Quentin, Emily. I've really been inspired here on campus, and even though it's snowing and cold outside, and I came from sunny California yesterday, I couldn't be more happy to be working with you guys, and I'm thrilled about this event tonight. And thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Oh, mail me your secrets.